Hello and welcome to the latest edition of the Far North Coast Rugby Union podcast, brought to you by Coopers and Barker, Ryan and Stuart. I was going to say Sullivan again as I did last week. Sorry about that, guys. We're going to be joined shortly online. We've got on Skype the Far North Coast women's coach, Brett McLaren, coming on to talk about this weekend's country championships down in Tamworth. So before we do that, we'll get around the grounds for last week's matches. All right, we're back. Last week's comp, we had one washout in both Lismore and Casino in first, second grades in the women's competition. So that most other games went ahead. At Casuarina Beach, no, it wasn't at Casuarina Beach. It was Lennox Head taking on Casuarina Beach down at Epic Fields there. In second grade, Lennox Head actually came out winners there, 17 points to 10. Over Casuarina Beach, so well done Lennox Head after having to forfeit the week before. And then in first grade, Casuarina Beach proved too strong, leading 28-10 at half time and going on to comfortably win that 43 points to 10. Scotty Jenkins said, we just lost pattern and lost all sorts of things. So unfortunately, they're here to fight in a fortnight's time after the country championships. And then up at Pioneer Park at Wallingbar, we had Wallingbar taking on Ballina in first and second grade. In second grade, that was a closely contested match at half time, I thought. And then Ballina Wallingbar ran out quite convincing winners at 50 points to 14. So, it was a bit of a disappointment there for Ballina in the second grade match. But in first grade, Wallingbar skipped out at half time. They led the match there 26 points to 7. And it seemed like it might be a bit of a runaway. But Ballina fought back, and it was... They fought back to 26-21, I think, at one stage. And then Wallingbar kicked the penalty goal and kept it 8 points apart. So the final score was Wallingbar 29 and Ballina 21. So, that was that. So, and then we had in the women's competition. In the women's competition, we had Kyogle take on Ballina. And Kyogle ran out winners there, 31 points to 15. But there is a bit of a dispute on that score there. They're saying like 31 to 20. We haven't got that cleared up just yet. And in the other women's match, SCU ground was shut, so they moved up to... I'm getting distracted. No, I've got the other people talking in my ear. Sorry. Now, where was I? Casuarina Beach and SCU Gold Rats travelled up to Albilos Field. Of course, Murray Ryan Oval was closed at the uni, and they only went up with about 5 players, I believe. Picked up a couple of others off Casuarina Beach, and they played a sevens match. They played three sort of 7 games, and the referee Bruce Ward said it was a great spectacle. Everyone got on, so it was really good. And the score was 20 points to 7 Casuarina over Southern Cross Uni. But I have been contacted by the Casuarina coach saying that should be recorded as a forfeit. But they've already got the 5 competition points. I don't see what point it is in it, just for and against maybe. So anyway, I'll confer with the the senior rugby director, about that one. Then in the President's Cup matches, we had Mullumbimby Moonshiners. They moved their ground. Uni had to go up there, and Mullumbimby ran out convincing winners 24-0 in that match. Yamba travelled all the way out to Don Gully Oval at Kyogle, and Yamba Buccaneers come home 29 points to 22 over Kyogle. So the Kyogle got a bonus point for finish within 7, so there it goes. And then Richmond Range went down to Evans Head to play down at Stampede Oval, and closely contended half time, but full time 19 points to 3. Richmond Range over Evans River Killer Whales. So the ladder there in the President's Cup comp, we've got Mullumbimby on 14, Range on 13, Kyogle on 11, Yamba on 11, Evans Head on 1, and Southern Cross Uni on 1. So everyone's got off the board there. And then under 18s matches, we had Wallingbar at home to Yamba, and that was a closely contested match, really good. Wallingbar had a couple of early tries, Yamba came back, took the lead I think at one stage, and then the Wallingbar just held on 17-15 over a very good Yamba side. And in the other match down at Epic Field, Lennox Head ran out winners 22 points to 10 over Casuarina Beach. So Lismore sit on top in the 18s competition from Lennox, Mullum, Wallingbar, Yamba all on 5 points, and Casuarina yet to get off the mark, which is a surprise. So that was all the matches that were played last week in round 5. There's a general bye for this week for the country championships, and we've got our men and women's sides heading out to Tamworth tomorrow and online. We're joined by Brett McLaren, and he's there ready to have a speak with us.
G'day, Wayne. How you doing?
Not too bad, thank you, Brett. You all prepared for tomorrow?
Mate, preparation was outstanding. So I've got a squad full of excited women ready to head to West and tackle country champs. We're looking good.
No, that's excellent. So, long bus trip out there. I've been on a couple of those myself, heading out there when I was managing the Colt side, when we used to get a Colt side together to head out there. So, and the weather can be quite cool.
Home though. The shorter trip than the one home though, Wayne.
Oh no, the one home, me and Jeff Watt used to jump in a car and we'd scoot off and not go home on the bus. Yeah, Jeffrey's very keen to get home, you know.
No, our preparation for the women's team has been outstanding, mate. As you know, we took a bit of a different tack this year with our preparation. We were fortunate enough. So we were fortunate enough to bring on board some pretty dedicated sponsors this year for the women's competition, and part of that was being able to do a live-in camp at Lake Ainsworth Sport and Rec Centre, which is just an outstanding facility. So we came in on Friday afternoon, had dinner, had a bit of a team meeting, contact session on Friday evening, and then Saturday we got started at 5:30 in the morning and spent all day Saturday and most of Sunday getting ready. So absolutely sensational preparation. Girls came on board, bought into the game plan, bought into the way we want to get things done, and by Sunday afternoon we looked pretty sharp.
Oh, that's excellent. We're just having a couple of noise things that are coming through on my earphones here. It really went loud then for some reason. I think I bumped something over here, Mark.
All right, keep going.
No. So all prepared, hey? So you got a good variance of girls from different clubs there?
We do, mate. So we ended up having 27 girls at the camp, of which we're taking 24 players out to the country champs. At camp, we had pretty much every team represented, but there's representatives in the team from Casuarina, Casino, Kyogle, Lismore, and Rebels make up the squad that's going out to play.
Yep.
But like I say, we had representatives from every club there for the camp, which was outstanding. So. A nice mix.
You've got enough girls to go out, not like the last few years when they all started pulling the pin and the day before. And
yeah, that's it. Hey? So last year was a bit of a challenge, and I guess that was the impetus to get things organised for this year. we talk about it a lot, but some of the women have some really challenging barriers to getting involved and being a part of something like a team sport like rugby. So we wanted to bring as many of those barriers down. And like I said, we got some sponsors on board that believe in those.
It's here. It's all right now. I think it's working good. Yeah, sorry, Brett. You're right. Dropping in and out on the speaker. I think I bumped some wires here.
No, that's all good. They bought into us getting rid of some of those barriers. So the idea was to, bring it in and condense it to one weekend commitment from them. And we included, it was a fully catered, accommodated, and if you needed it, child-minded weekend. So we were able to let the girls concentrate on their rugby and their footy for 48 hours. And, I think that's paid off. We've got a really talented group of girls together, all different levels of experience, from never played 15s before right through to some old campaigners like, Emily Cox and Zali Wheeler, who, like you said, last year we took 13 girls from the Far North Coast down to country champs. We managed to find a few players when we got down there, and they all had a red-hot go, albeit we were underdone and underprepared. So this year we've taken that out of the equation, and we've got some real experience. But out of that 13 last year, we managed to get Zali Wheeler selected in the country team. So she had an outstanding couple of days last year.
Yep.
And her leadership and knowledge of the game will be invaluable for us in the next couple of days. And then we've got a couple of youngsters who've played plenty of footy as well. So Tallulah Muhammad from Casino has been around rugby now for a little while and has played all forms of the game. Lara De Jong at 10, good general there, and good knowledge of the game and depth of experience. And we're super excited about some of the young guns. So we've got Madison Coppola and Chloe Leeson and Indy Simpson that are all 18-year-olds up and coming. Liv Leeson all played in the New South Wales Academy program back in January. And a couple of them had a couple of games for the Wildfires. So, a really nice combination of experience and youth and vigour and understanding of the game. So, I think we're in good stead.
And Country threw in a couple of marbles at the end there against you with Chloe and Madison actually playing away and up in the Queensland. Not enough games.
Yeah,
they always do that.
Yeah, it's one of those challenges though, hey Wayne. Like, so last year we only had the 4 teams in the women's comp here as a 10s comp. This year we're up to 7, and pushing hard to hold that together up here. But it's still a 10s comp. Yeah. So for these young guns to go and have an opportunity to play 15s, they have to get out of our zone to do that. So they've taken a couple of opportunities, which I think are fantastic opportunities for them.
For sure.
And it would have been disappointed if that had played against them, but fortunately that wasn't the way it went, and we're in a position to run them down to Tamworth and give them a crack. So it's worked out well.
I had a bit of a talk with Kate Thompson there. I've known the family for years. I said they're just juniors from here, mate. So anyway.
Yeah, through and through North Coasters, right? They've come through our whole program. So it's great to see them out there. And Chloe's had a really solid run. She made the New South Wales Sevens team last year, under 17 Sevens team, player of the tournament at the under 16s Waratahs Academy last January. So my understanding is she picked up a player of the tournament in a rugby tournament up in Darwin as well. So she's in form, playing some really good footy, and I think has a really big future.
Yeah, fingers crossed the weather's not as bad as what it is here. It is raining out there, I've been told.
Yeah, it won't be as bad as last year, though. I don't think it was a real mud fest last year. But the days, it's good footy weather, though. We're aiming for 19, 20-degree days, and it looks to be pretty light rain. So that country out there will hold up pretty well if it doesn't get too deep.
So what time's the bus kick off up in Chindra?
Yeah, Casuarina girls and boys, they're up nice and early. They're on the bus at 5 a.m.
Oh,
so
I won't be up.
Pick up at Ballina at 6, and then we head through to Lismore and Casino, and then truck on through to Tamworth. So hoping to get to Tamworth early mid-afternoon to get a bit of a captain's run in, get the girls back into get their heads in the game again. Just rediscover those shapes and structures we want to play, and get a good night's sleep.
Try and find a field to play on.
Well, that's it, hey? Yep. Well, we've got Lara De Jong. She's from out at Tamworth, so she's got us lined up with a spot to get warmed up and have a captain's run. So we're good.
Yeah, I forget where we used to go with the senior men and the Colts. They found somewhere.
Yeah, well, Tamworth's just developed that whole Riverside sports complex out there. They've got a new area there that's got 9 rugby fields side by side. So there should be plenty of room for us. But I'm assuming that a fair few of the teams will be out there, getting their last minute tweaks on. So we'll see how we go for space.
Oh well, best of luck to you guys and the men.
No worries. I'll just run through the squad list.
Yeah, go for your life, mate. Yeah.
So Emily Cox is starting out at number 1. We've got Zali Wheeler, Jamie Lee in our front row, Keely Arnold from the Rebels, Cheyenne Appleby, who's been a bit of a revelation. She played for the Rebels a few years ago and has made a comeback this season, and has been a real leader for us out there. Indy Simpson, as I mentioned earlier, one of the young guns. Willoughby Brown from Casino, again played in the Northern Academy under-18s team and was just outstanding, really, really handy line-out jumper and just super busy around the paddock. Talul Mohammed, who brings a really physical game to the field and leads by example. We got Chloe Sibright at number 9, Lara De Jong at 10. Faith Taylor, a girl out of Evans Head who's playing for the Rebels this year, on the wing, super quick, some genuine heat out wide for us with her, so she'll be an exciting one to watch on the weekend. Madison Coppler at inside centre, Marley Johnson at outside centre from Casuarina. Interestingly, a girl who's played a lot of rugby, first ran into her up at Double Trouble on the Gold Coast like 5 or 6 years ago, and is now leading the Casuarina team around. But interestingly enough, has never played 15s before. So she plays a good, strong outside centre game. Carrie Massey from Rebels, again, been around footy and league for quite a while and has really come into her own with a bit of width out wide. And Samantha Codrington from Casino, who again has been around the footy for quite a while. It's great to see her back out here and ready to go. Looking really good at fullback. Then we've got Caitlin Woods up at Casuarina, Bridget Isbester from Casuarina, Liv Leeson from Lismore, Piper Parker from Kyogle, Claudia Gasquez all the way from Spain, but via the Rebels in Byron Bay, Laura Parsons from Lismore, Lani Piggott from Kyogle, Shantali Williams from Lismore, who's another young gun coming through, really, really talented footballer. One of those players who just seems to be able to make space around her without trying. And our late inclusion, just as cover for our halfback position, is Poppy Lyons from the Kyogle Cockies. And then last but not least is Silji Momrak, another international star for the Rebels, all the way from Norway. Yep. But so we're taking.
How's Silja's leg now after the very bad compound fracture many years ago? There,
her leg's good. She got a bit of a tickle on the ribs, but at the camp, unfortunately. But her leg's good, and she's back. She's actually playing some really confident footy. Her footy from last year to this year has come on leaps and bounds. She just seems, I think, the mental side of getting over an injury like that was playing on her, but she's come back really confident this year, looking really good.
That's good. Yeah, excellent.
Yeah. So when you read through that list, Wayne, pretty handy group of women out there running around for Far North Coast this weekend.
Yeah, it's good to have a few that's got a bit of experience playing the 15s as well, because I think that's been the problem in the past. They just didn't know what to do out there, really.
Yep. And I'm excited about that too, Wayne, right? That's the purest form. And our women's competition domestically here at the Far North Coast, we're pushing hard to get to that. Our numbers in a few of the clubs are really good this year, 17, 18, 19 players on the rosters of the Rebels and Lismore City, Casino and Kyogle Cockies. So, we're all about just promoting the women's game and what it's about and what it can make and mean for the girls that play. And then if they see a positive result out of this Far North Coast weekend, and again, it's a bit of a cliche, but we're already winners. The camp was just sensational. The way the girls came together embraced the new format, wanted to learn, wanted to get involved. We met each other. We spent a heap of time getting to know each other. It was really, really positive. So the purest four in the game, 15s, we're not far away from it in the Far North Coast, I think, for the women's competition, which would be a fantastic achievement.
All right, you should be giving your sponsors all a wrap now, Brett.
Yeah, so the naming sponsor, Barker Ryan Stewart, a town planning organisation based in Ballina in the Northern Rivers here, have come on as naming rights sponsor for the women's comp and our women's team this year. Extraordinary support levels, and they've been the main reason we've been able to deliver the program we have. Two local community club organisations, the Cherry Street Sports Club and Casino Golf Club, have both come on with fantastic support, and Edmonds Conveyancing in Ballina and Lismore. So the four of them put their hands in their pocket. They heard the story. They liked what we were trying to deliver, and felt it resonated with their story and their values. And yeah, it's been a fantastic thing. So I've just been in touch with a couple of them today about posts over the weekend and making sure we keep them updated on how we go. So really good.
I think the
really
games
impressive.
are being live streamed.
Yeah. They're on Rugby TV. So that'll be fantastic. Early start for us though. We kick off at 8:50. I think it's our first game, and it's a bit of a must-win for us.
You got
that's
Hunter
the difference
up
between
first, haven't
heading
you?
into the top of the. Sorry, we're up against Hunter first, so tough challenge straight up. And that'll be a very challenging match, but it basically decides whether we're top half of the draw or bottom half of the draw straight up. So we've got to hit the ground running and really throw ourselves at knocking that one over.
Yeah, well, best of luck from everyone on Far North Coast and the board, everyone.
Thank you.
Graham Cook's not with me tonight. He's a bit ill, so I'm running solo again. The second time in 2 weeks. But, no, it was great to have you on board. And best of luck to you guys out there, the girls, the women. Have a great time. And just do your best. That's all you can hope for.
Yep, that's all we're asking for. So, no, appreciate the time, Wayne, and great to have a chat to you. We'll catch up. We'll catch up with an update when we get back.
Yeah. I'm going to have Ed Rummery come in next week and have a bit of talk about what happened to them over the country championship weekend.
Fantastic, awesome. Okay, good stuff.
All right.
Thanks, mate. We'll get on with it.
Thank you, Brett.
Cheers. Okay, bye.
All right, well, that's about it for tonight's podcast. Best of luck to the Coopers Far North Coast men's comp rep side and the Barker Ryan Sullivan women's rep side. So I say farewell to next week. Cheers.